Hi, welcome to Cookin USA. We're cooking today with a little class. Isn't that an elegant book? Chicago Entertains. Very formal little book there that is done by the Kenilworth Union Church, which is located just north of Chicago. It's the oldest community church in the country. It was founded in 1892, and several years ago, the ladies put this little book together. It's got some great recipes for entertaining from some of the wonderful restaurants along the Chicago, along the lake shore there, and north of Chicago, and in Chicago itself. Chicago Entertains. We're going to do two recipes out of the book: Stan's barbecued salmon with fish sauce and a blueberry buckle. And you're going to get a chance to meet Judith Cookin, who is a wonderful, wonderful cooking teacher from the San Francisco Bay Area. She has a cooking school out there, and it's the largest cooking school for home chefs, people like you and me. It's not a professional, where you go to make a business out of it. It's where you go to learn all kinds of good information to make you a better cook at home. She tries to teach the same kind of stuff that we talk about on this show. And you're going to get a chance to meet her. She's got some good tips for us, some good common sense things. First thing we're going to do is make that Stan's barbecued salmon with fish sauce. And here's what you need for that: some Pam non-stick cooking spray, and then for the fish sauce, some sour cream, mayonnaise, dry mustard, white vinegar, and some chopped chives. And for the barbecued salmon, a whole salmon, and we've got a beauty today, and lemon juice, Worcestershire sauce, prepared mustard, basil, garlic salt, onion, and lemon. Of course, you don't have to write all those things down. I hope you know that by now. We always give you the recipes from the books that we're cooking, and we'll tell you how to get that toward the end of the show, so stay with us. First thing, we're going to talk a little bit about chives, because this recipe calls for chives. These are a neat herb to grow right in you can grow them in a flower pot on your kitchen window, or you can grow them in the garden. They're really easy to grow, and they're easy to keep too. You can keep them for months if you will just wrap them up in a damp towel like so, and store them in a Ziploc bag. They'll keep very nicely for a long time. Sour cream we use in this recipe, but you can also use yogurt. And to make your own sour cream with yogurt, just put a little cheesecloth over this thing and pour this thickens it up, and then let it drain out, so you've got a nice thick substitute for sour cream. Okay, let's get on with this thing. The first thing we're going to do is make our sauce. We have some mayonnaise. Excuse me, my nose itches. What does that mean? You're going to kiss a fool or something? That's what grandmother used to say. Okay, we got some mayonnaise in here, and some sour cream goes in on top of that, and a little dry mustard, and vinegar. Here's our dry mustard, vinegar, and our chives. And that all gets blended together nicely, okay? And we just put the lid on that. Let's get these out of the way. And we make our sauce here. There, that ought to do it. Now, this goes into the refrigerator to chill for a while. So we'll chill that. And we're going to get ready with our salmon here. Now, the sauce that we're going to make sauce. The first thing you do is we've made a tray here out of aluminum foil that's kind of in the shape of a fish. Isn't that cute? And we're going to spray that with our Pam. And Pam, oh gosh, they got so many nice flavors out here. Which one should we use today? They've got butter flavor, regular, and this olive oil. Let's use the butter. The butter. And it's important that you spray this before you put it on the grill. You want to spray it when it's cold. So we'll spray that well with our butter-flavored Pam. Okay, and then we'll make here's our salmon all ready to go. That's a pretty one. We've trimmed him up, and the butcher will do this for you. Take the head off and the dorsal fin and the tail. Get him all ready to go. And then we're going to make our sauce here. We've got the lemon juice, and we're going to combine that with the Worcestershire sauce and some mustard. And here's my rubber spatula here. Get that mustard out of the pot. That goes in, and a little garlic salt, and some onion salt, and just a touch of basil. Okay, and whisk all that together until you get a nice smooth sauce. Okay, and then we're going to brush that inside the cavity of our fish here. Just open him up and brush it good. Don't be generous. This sauce is what gives it a nice tang. Okay? A lot of that. Okay, got him all brushed. Now we're going to arrange inside. We got to slice some onions here. I'm sorry, we've got the onion sliced. I'm going to slice a little bit of lemon, and we're going to arrange these on the inside of the fish alternately with some onion. So we arrange some of the lemons and some onion inside the guy here. This is a fish very like we do a lot of salmon fishing in the San Francisco Bay when it's in season, and the guy that owns the boat that we have has a little oven on the grill, and we do this kind of a thing on the boat when we're going out. Okay. Now we brush the fish here with butter. Good. And that goes into our little fish dish here that we sprayed with Pam, like so, and then we cover that guy again. Okay. Now we're going to mix on top of this thing. We'll put another layer of onions and a little bit of lemon, and that goes on the grill. Let's slide him over to the grill here. That goes on the grill, and it gets covered with another piece of aluminum foil, and cook that for, well, a good rule of thumb is about 10 minutes per inch of fish. This will take 35, 40 minutes. Okay. And here's what you have. You serve it with that wonderful sauce that we had chilling, and you've got a very, very nice dish. Nice dish out of a very nice book. Now it's time for our trick of the trade for today.
A tip on decorating a plate for desserts is what we call painting a plate. Start with a nice raspberry sauce on the base of the plate. Take it to the edge. Take a thinned down sour cream sweetened with a little sugar. Swirl it from the inside out. And run a skewer to the center, pulling the lines to the center, then back out. And then you have a painted plate, the way Picasso would have done it.
Very nice tip. We always taste things first with our eyes, so presentation is important. Don't go away. We have Judith Cookin here, and she's got some great tips for us right after this. Meet Judith Cookin, who is a very talented cooking teacher.
Thank you, Merle.
Yeah, she's also a neighbor of mine. Has a very nice cooking school in San Francisco. Largest cooking school for folks like us, you know, the home chef. Not the fancy high hat guys, but the home chefs. Fondue is what we're doing today.
Fondue is coming back into style.
That's good. Fondue used to be something at grandmother's house every Christmas Eve. That's what we did. All different kinds. What are you doing for us today?
We're going to make a cheese fondue.
Wait a minute, before we get into this, so that the folks can follow along, here's what you're going to need to make this fondue that Judith's making. It's a Swiss fondue, the sort of the classic, isn't it? Some dry bread and some Gruyere cheese and some Emmental cheese, which are the two kinds of cheese. Some nutmeg and garlic and potato starch and some dry white wine. And that's about got it. Huh?
That's
okay.
it. You want to be sure to use two different kinds of cheese.
Yeah, now the Gruyere and Emmentaler are both Swiss, but two different types.
Right, but the type with the big holes in it, which we call Swiss, is a little bit hard to melt. So you want to mix it with some Gruyere, and we've done that. The recipe tells you to put a little bit more
the two. That's the classic,
Swiss,
classic recipe
yeah.
for it. Okay.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix the potato starch. That's going to help thicken it. And we're going to put the Emmental here. And then if you are cooking like I do, I like to just toss
Get
that
in there
this
with your
way.
hands. The best
Right.
tools that you have in the kitchen.
Right.
We have
Now we've got some lemon juice, which is going to go with the wine.
And there's white wine in there. Okay.
And we've got it hot. And we're going to put the white wine in here. Theoretically, we already have a fondue going there.
We get things started a little ahead of time.
And then we simply take the cheese and drop it in, spoonful at a time, and stir it up. And this is ready to taste.
Okay. Now, these come in sets, these little fondue forks. Can you see this? They've got different colors on the ends so that you know which one is yours.
What do you
in
want
this
to be,
communal
red?
pot. Oh, I'd love to be red. Pick
Okay,
your color.
I'm going to pick green.
All right. A little French bread with the crusty bread.
Okay.
And put the crust part on the bottom there, something so you into it. Good food.
You know what's a lot of fun here is when the streams of cheese come across the table and people are
You've got them
pulling
all
them.
It's really kind of a communal, fun thing to do. Great around the ski camps and all that sort of stuff. We've got some dessert fondues over here, too. Good?
Delicious.
Well, for what?
I always forget how good it is.
Tell us about this chocolate. This is dessert fondue.
Then, after your cheese fondue, if you haven't had enough yet, you can always have some chocolate fondue, and this is really easy.
Yeah.
You simply melt chocolate, and then, instead of a piece of bread, you can take a banana.
I had strawberry here.
Strawberry.
This has got to be one of my favorite desserts of all time. Just strawberry dipped in a chocolate.
What could be better?
Oh, good stuff. And meat fondue. Here's some hot oil.
You need to be careful with that because that's pretty hot.
Yeah, we're running short of force here. I'm going to take off my dessert. For this one.
Everybody gets to cook their own meat.
And here's where it's important because you put it in there and let it cook for a while, right? And now you know which one is which. Fondue. I'm glad it's making a comeback.
Yes,
it's really
I
a very
am too.
pleasant way to kind of sit around and enjoy family and
That along
friends.
with martinis.
Martini's making a comeback
So you
too.
can have martinis and fondue. I like mine rare. What about you?
Yeah, not too well done. Here's the different ways that here's how you can arrange them. Serve them with a different sauce, different, whatever you like in there. There's a little cheese, a little meat. Judith, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Joe Zanger is down at the supermarket. Joe, what do you got for us today?
One of my colleagues at work is sick, and the office voted me to go get the flowers. Only I waited too long, and now the florist is closed, which is why I'm here at my emergency gift center, cleverly disguised as my grocery store.
Not only will this gift be more personal than a bouquet of flowers, it'll be less expensive, too. You start by choosing an attractive basket from the floral center and lining it with some cheerful paper. Now let's fill this with food to help one get better. Some soup. A cup of soup takes all the work out of it, best for keeping one relaxed. Or some gourmet soups for when they feel like cooking again. Turtle soup or a seafood bisque, perhaps. Fruit is a must. Citrus fruits are best, oranges and grapefruits. My grandmother always advised tea and toast as the best prescription for getting well, and these days you can make the tea as exotic as you want. The grocery store offers a wide selection of over-the-counter medicines. For my ailing colleagues, some aspirin and cough syrup is needed and something to put them to sleep. 40 proof. That ought to do it. Now for some fun things, because it can get boring being sick. This'll keep them busy. It did me. Being sick is a good excuse to read magazines you'd otherwise not buy, and it's a good time to increase your vocabulary. Grocery stores have some of the best collections of get-well cards anywhere, too.
And now back to the floral department for the crowning touch. A gift that cost a few minutes of my time and about $45. A lot less than what the guys at the office gave me for flowers.
Okay, Joe. Thank you. Don't go away. We have Blueberry Buckle from this Chicago Entertains coming up right after this.
Guests and stars of Cookin USA stay at Clubhouse Inn, Nashville, just minutes from Opryland. Complimentary breakfast and evening receptions make you feel at home. Call 1-800-CLUB-IN.
We're cooking today from Chicago Entertains. Over 1,100 great recipes from all over. Look at all of the contributors that have contributed to this. Page after page after page of people, recipes from the contributors of Kenilworth Union Church. Nice book, a lot of good stuff in it. We're going to do a blueberry buckle out of this book next. So let's talk a bit about blueberries. You know, a good way to tell if the blueberries in your market are fresh is not to check the blueberries, because very often they've got them covered up and you can't really see. Check the blueberry box. You know, if it's all stained like that, chances are that they've been kicking around for a while and not in the best of shape. So sometimes the box knows better than the berries as to how fresh they are. Let's do this blueberry buckle. Here's what you're going to need for that. You're going to need some, for the batter, some butter, granulated sugar, egg, and flour, some baking powder, salt, milk, and, of course, the blueberries. And then for the topping, some flour, granulated sugar, butter, and cinnamon. A little bit of whipping cream tops it all off. First thing we're going to do is cream our butter and sugar in a bowl here. And add an egg. Let's not go too fast. We'll have it all over the place. Okay. So cream that together. And that done, we're going to sift together our dry ingredients, which are already, we've gotten a start over here with that. We have the flour in our sifter. We're going to add to that some baking powder and some salt and sift all of that together, okay? And then we're going to add the dry ingredients alternately with the milk to our butter mixture over here, okay? So we've got that taken care of. Let's move this over here, and we will add the dry ingredients, just part of them, and stir that in, and then add a little bit of our milk. Get my right hand going here. And then after we, then the rest of the dry ingredients and the rest of the milk. Alternating it like that just helps you incorporate everything a little better and a little faster and do a better job of it. Okay, that's getting to be about where we want it. Okay, oops. Let me get this, all the good stuff in the pan here. Whoops, not that one. Come out. Okay. Now we're going to put this guy in here. We have our greased pan here. We're going to spread this on top of put that in the bottom of the pan. Okay. We're going to cover that with blueberries. Blueberries are wonderful fruit. Wild blueberries up in Canada that I used to enjoy when I went fishing up there with my brother. Okay, the blueberries go on top of that. And then we're going to make a topping to go over all of that, okay? And here's what the topping calls for. We have more butter, and we cream that together, cut in some flour and sugar, and a bit of cinnamon. And we cut that all together until it's like little crumbs, okay? And when it's nice and crumbly, spread that over the top of the berries. Just sprinkle it on, and then bake this guy at 375 degrees for about 45 minutes. And it makes a nice crunchy with blueberries, and it's a nice dessert. Here's what it looks like when it's all finished. Isn't that pretty? And very tasty. You could put a dollop of whipping cream on top of that if you like. You have a nice dessert. Don't go away. Cookin' USA continues right after this. We got some neat little gadgets from the IMAX Corporation we'd like to show you here. This is a Spetzel press. Okay, it's just got little holes in the bottom. You put it over the water. You pour your Spetzel batter in there, and then press it out. Comes out. These are all over the Germany and Czechoslovakia. It says nicely you got your own little noodles Spetzel press. Okay, some other things here. An egg cutter. That's pretty simple and does a nice job. You've got little quarters of egg. Here's a nice one for all kinds of vegetables and cheese or butter slices, and it measures things. See, it's got a little gauge on it here that will let you measure how big you want. Kind of handy. This one, I think, is an absolute essential. If you have fish, and a lot of us are eating more and more fish, and as you know, you can buy whole fish better and cheaper than you can buying the fillets. This is a fish scaler, but how many times did you scale fish and you had the scales all over? This has got a little container that lets you scale the fish without getting, most of the scales anyway, stay inside the container. This one is another one that's a really handy gadget for cutting a cake in half to make a torte, to make layers. You got the thing, and you can pre-adjust it so that you've got different sizes. You can even use on a large cake, you can do 2 or 3. Some kind of nice little gadgets from the IMAX Corporation. If you would like to have information on these various gadgets, but more importantly, the recipes that we cooked on today's show from this very nice book from Chicago area, if you would send us a self-addressed stamped envelope to Cookin' USA, 2806 Opryland Drive, Nashville, Tennessee, 37214, and indicate that you would like to have show number 152 or newsletter number 152, we will send all that to you. However, if you would like to have all of the recipes from the whole series that we're doing, Volume 3 of Cookin' USA is available. It's a nice little book. It's got all the tips and all the recipes, information on how to get all the things that we tell you about. And here's how you order this one.
Order the Cookin' USA Cookbook Volume 3 now. Send check or money order for $9.95 plus $2 shipping and handling for each book to Cookin' USA Cookbook Volume 3, 2806 Opryland Drive, Nashville, Tennessee, 37214. That's $9.95 plus $2 shipping and handling for each book to Cookin' USA Cookbook Volume 3, 2806 Opryland Drive, Nashville, Tennessee, 37214. Or call 1-800-331-1000 for Visa MasterCard orders.
Nice book, and it would be nice to have that to follow along with the recipes as we go from day to day. Cookin' USA. Join us next time, won't you? Cookin' USA is a production of Emerald Entertainment in association with Reed Land Productions.